Hi everyone, and welcome back to another online Jujitsu workout class. As usual, we hope everybody is well, staying healthy and safe and sane in these indoor stay-at-home coronavirus lockdown conditions. Here in New York, we're moving into stage 4 of the opening up, but dojos and other facilities are still closed and will be for some time. So we continue in this manner as best we can. So very hot today. Make sure that you're hydrated, and let's get ready for class. Walk up. So yame. Onishimasu. Up. Hands on your hip or belt. Head to the right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, uk, sich, hach, ku, ju, and dai, ich, ni, san, shi, go, uk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Look right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, tilt right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, any way you need it. And shoulders forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go, alternating ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go, hands up, elbows back, ich, ni, san, forward, ich, ni, san, forward, ich, ni, san, forward, reverse ich, ni, san, back, ich, ni, san, back, ich, ni, san, back. Left hand, left hand on your belt or your belly. Ready, hands forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go, on die, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go. Natural stance, both hands forward, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go. Left hand, left right hand in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ich, ni, san, shi, go. Shake it in, shake it out, side to side, punch. Die, ich, ni, san, shi, go, reverse ich, ni, san, shi, go. Shake it in, shake it out, side to side, punch. Natural stance, elbows against your chest, hands in, ich, ni, san, shi, go, out, ich, ni, san, shi, go, shake it in, shake it out, side to side, double punch, hips to the right, ich, ni, san, shi, go, and die, ich, ni, san, shi, go, stretch back. Forward. Back, hands overhead. Forward. Chest to your right knee. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. And loosen up your hips, ready for torso rotations to the right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. And die, ich, ni, san, shi, go. 1 second, my doorbell is ringing. Stretching a little bit, side to side, twist. And shake it loose. Step into Shikudachi. And breathe in, out, in, out. Drop your right shoulder, and thigh, and thigh, and thigh. And bring legs out further. Drop down into a standing split, elbows to the mat. Rocking, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Back on your heels. And again, try just use your hands for stabilization, not actually for any weight on them. Pivot to your left. And thigh. Back to center, elbows to the mat. Rocking, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Back on your heels. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Pivot left. Thigh. And come up into Shikudachi. Again, breathe in, out, in, out. Extend your right foot for side kick. Thigh. 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 Toe toes up. Thigh. Thigh all the way down. Thigh. 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 And drop your right knee in for hurdler stretch. Sit up straight, face your left foot, reach. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Sit up straight, twist. And thigh. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. And thigh. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. Thigh. Foot in the center. Hands together, reaching forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. Die. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. Forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist. And both feet in front. Pick them up. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Reach a little deeper. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Sit up straight. Twist right. Left. Right. Left. And legs apart. And again, I've gotten into this habit of making butterfly, like you're doing shadow butterfly. I lock my thumbs together when I reach forward. And it's just a habit because that way I feel that my hands are evenly forward. So whenever I reach for my feet, I always just do this weird little thumb locking thing. And that way I know that I'm reaching forward evenly. So to the right. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Left. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Center. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. And again, so one of the things, like you see people often doing, they can reach their foot easier with one hand, so they'll grab it one hand and they'll put the other hand like this and pull. But now you're more tilted. So if you can't reach, better to have your both hands even and grab your ankle, or grab your gi pants if you had a cuff to grab. But grabbing even, however far you can reach, is better for this stretch. So again, right, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Left, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Center, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Twist right, twist left. Right elbow on the mat inside the right knee, hand on the mat, left hand overhead, grab your foot. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Untie, left knee, left elbow, right hand overhead. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Sit up straight, twist right. Left, bring your feet in, bounce your knees, push down on your knees, and forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Feet in front, one more time, reach deep. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Yay. Okay. So, ready for back fall? If you can do the, ready for jackknives. If you can do the back fall, do the back fall. Hey. And jackknives. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Hands under butt, scissors, slow and wide, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, ku, ju, straight up, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, ku, ju, knees to chest, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, ku, ju, flutter kick, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hutch, ku, ju, and raise them up straight, beat on your belly, slowly down, and stretch. Bring your right knee into your chest, flex your foot, ankle, twist, put it down, thigh, twist, put it down, and both knees in, rocking, stretch, heels in bridge, push it all the way up, and yummy. And ready for push-ups. Do the face roll if you can. Hey. Push-up position. Head up, right leg up. Down, left leg up. Down, head down, back. Scoop. Back. Down. Head up, right leg up. Down, left leg up. Down, head down, back. Scoop. Back. Down. Head up, right leg up. Down, left leg up. Down, head down, back. Scoop. Back. Down. Head up, right leg up. Down, left leg up. Down, head down, back. Scoop. Back. Down, one more. Head up, right leg up. Down, left leg up. Down, head down, back. Scoop. Back. Down, hold it. And relax slowly. Hup. Front thigh. Front thigh. Front thigh. Turn around, drop to a knee. Fix anything you need to fix. Left tummy, curly dash. Remember your stance, your harmony. Bend your knees. Breathe down into your belly. And thigh. Dai, EQ. Dai. Dai, Nikyu. Dai. Dai, thank you. Dai. Dai, Shihonagi. Dai. Dai, finger stretch. Dai. And shake it loose. Okay, ready for Tai Sabaki. Left foot forward. Hitch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rick. Sich. Hatch. Ku. Ju. And Dai. Hitch. Knee. Sun. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hatch. Ku. Ju. May. Switch your feet. Ready for hitch step pivot. Slow count, so get distance and make sure you get a full hip turn. Left foot forward, hitch, knee, sun, shi, ku, ruk, sich, hitch, ku, ju, Dai, hitch, knee, sun, shi, go, work, switch, hatch, ku, ju. Dai, hitch the pivot fast count, hitch, knee, sun, shi, go, work, sich, hatch, ku, ju, and Dai, hitch, knee, sun, shi, go, work, sich, hatch, ku, ju, and yummy. Okay, let's start formally. So put it on your Left hip, blade pointing up. Kyotsuki, Rei, Hanishimasu. And Yoi, step in, lean in, pull out, tip over, come back, bring your hand to left hand into position. I have to get rid of my scabbard here. I like to work with my actual sword just because of weight, but also I think you can see it easier on the video because it catches the light in all this blackness. My bokens are all black too, so it's easier to see this. Okay, so we're going to start just by doing our basic wrist warm-up techniques or exercises. So start out with both hands on. Again, remember knuckle on top, knuckle on top. Comes out basically from your obi knot about a fist distance. And I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do with this tenting overhead, so I'm going to have to do stuff over here, which means I can't really raise it up very high. So we'll have to modify this to suit my ceiling. So, from this position, tilt up, raise up, and I'm hitting my ceiling, so I'm going to have to tip it back. Raise up till you can see underneath it, and then cut. And the stop point for cutting should be that same position in front of your obi knot, and the tip should be about your own throat height. So I am actually going to switch over to a boken because then I can push up into the net overhead without ripping it. That might make life easier for me to just go up there and just push up into it. It's not going to hurt it. But harder for you to see. Well, against the white you can see it. Okay, so we're in this position and we're going to go tilt it up, raise it up, cut. Tilt it up, raise it up, cut. Tilt it up, raise it up, cut. Okay, now without breaking it down, we're just going to do cuts. So I'm going to go to whatever the best position is for, probably here. So we're just going to do cuts with the count. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, and ju. Yeah, mate. Now we're going to exercise just the right wrist. So right wrist in its normal position towards the front of the handle, knuckle on top, left hand behind your back, and again tilt up, raise up, cut, 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 tilt up, raise up, cut. Okay, so then let's do 20 cuts just like that. Ready with the count. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. Yeah, me. Switch hands, don't switch your feet. So this time your left hand is going to be at the back of the handle, just where it would be, with that space in between them. So all the way towards the end. Now this should be harder for you because your boken just got heavier because your lever just got longer. So in the same position, right hand behind your back, tilt up, raise up, cut. 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 So now we're going to do 20 cuts like that. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, ri, chi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. So now let's just shake it loose. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand even stance, hold our boken blade up in our hands, and we're going to rock our wrists like this as we jump up and down. So ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Now in your left hand, hold it in its balance point. And the same thing, you're going to rock your wrist out to the side, up and down like this with both hands as you jump up and down. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, sich, hach, ku, ju. Okay. So it's not obvious what I'm doing is I'm curling my wrist, and as I hit the ground I'm dropping it and shaking it down. Again, ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, ku, ju. Hold it across, twist right, left, right, left, overhead and back, forward to the mat, overhead and back, twist right and left, and shake it loose. Okay, so those are our basic warm-up exercises to get our wrists going. 1 second, it's getting very hot in here. I may have to turn the AC back on. It's not competing with the heat coming in from above very well. Okay, so we're going to go through the next step. So we're working towards the kata, but basically the number one of the kata is our shomen. So we come in and strike and come back out. So we're going to just iterate that a few times, again just partly as a warm-up thing. So we get used to being in harmony, being in the finished position, sliding in as we raise and dropping, and as we drop, dropping a little bit extra weight onto our front knee. So from the side, I'm coming in, and everything should dead stop at the same time. The boken and the knee and hip drop all together. So that means that in the course of sliding across and dropping, which of course you don't do as 2 steps, it's 1 step, you're going to both raise and lower all in that same space of time. So we're going to come in, strike, and then as we push back, raise and strike again as we retreat into harmony. So each count is 2 strikes, in and out. Remember, knuckles on top. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. And in. So in our kata, the uke does the shomenuchi, which is the strike that goes dead center, right? It's going to split the head, split the body all the way down the spine, which isn't necessarily the most logical attack because it's hard to achieve that. But it's better as an attack than as a defense. It's not a very good defense. So the defenses are almost all yokomen. Yokomen is the strike that comes across and cuts diagonally down. So, coming to our kata, uke comes in with the shomen, right down the center line, and we move a little bit off center and come in and cut at the neck. So, yokomen to the neck shoulder joint. So they come shomen and we come yokomen. So it doesn't look that much different, but if I do it straight towards the camera, you'll see that it doesn't end up straight down the center, it ends up to the side. I achieved that by turning my hip and pulling with my left hand a little bit more. So a lot of people talk about, oh, you know, the sword, the boken, the katana is a right-handed instrument because they do everything right-handed and assume everybody's right-handed. But in actual fact, it's very much controlled by the left. So the right is the fulcrum and the left is the controller of the lever. So actually, being left-handed is a big advantage in boken use because the right is really just the brute force, whereas the left is all the subtlety. So when we do our yokomen, we're going to be pulling a little bit more, which turns as we dip and bend into our front knee. It's subtle because we don't want to do a big, huge yokomen for number 2, or for our 1 and 2 returns. So they come shomen, and we wait till the last minute. So they're coming in, they're coming in, and they're striking, and right about here is usually when I move, because we want to give them the least amount of time to change their direction. So for number 1, I'm basically waiting, and then as their sword is coming down, mine is coming up, so we can kind of parry it if it has to. My back foot allows me to do that little turn, and then I can do my yokomen across their shoulder. So don't worry about what things are called. We're going to just do, it looks very much like number 1 in this case because we're just redirecting, or looks just like shomenuchi. And for basics, we basically have people do the exact same for number 1. So don't worry too much about it, just know that you need to lean into that front knee. So we slide in, pivot slightly, and cut. Bring it back up and cut, coming back out. Again, slide in, cut, back up and out. Again, slide in, cut, and back out. Again, slide in, cut, and back out. Okay, so now we're going to do it with the count, and just, we're only going to do a couple of them, but just make sure that your cut is arriving at the same time as your body drop. Ready? Ich, and back, knee, and back, san, and back, shi, and back, go, and back. Good. 2 is the one that screws everybody up and gets everybody really discombobulated, and they go, oh, how do I do this? My body doesn't want to do it. So again, we're right foot forward, and we're going to come in, but this time we're going to step in. So I'm going to just hold my blade down, and I'm going to step in almost into shikadachi. I'm going to drop too. So it's like a small shikadachi, so we don't drop too far. So as I do that, I raise it up, I withdraw it, and then bring it back in. So it's very much like in some of the other katas, like in a Temi kata, where we step out into shikadachi and then we turn it into a zenkutsudachi with a reverse punch. We're here, and then we're turning basically kind of into zenkutsudachi, but with a cut. And again, it's a slight diagonal cut. So the big thing, the big problem people have is they don't turn their body and they leave this elbow sticking out. So the trick that I've been showing people is, and we're going to practice this, is to raise it up, put it against your forehead, and then turn. So what I'm doing is I'm pretty much releasing the grip in my right hand. Remember I was saying about it's all controlled by the left, right? So I bring it up, my hands are flared, I bring it to my forehead, and in order to turn it over, I pretty much have to let it go. I'm exaggerating now, but it's mostly the web of my hand is in there, so I can just let it come down and lie across my elbow. Then when I turn my body, my shoulders, the blade turns with me. And I'm basically looking underneath the butt of my blade again. And then when I turn back, I'm able to bring it over. So it's harder to do sitting down, right? But basically I'm going to be like this. See the way, as you're looking down the camera, the blade is basically only the butt. So my elbow isn't sticking out. And the only way you can withdraw that elbow is if you let go of these fingers and just have basically this kind of grip on it. So all the important stuff is in your left hand, and you use that as a fulcrum to turn it over. And once it gets over, then you can put the full weight and grip of your right hand into action. So I know I said I'm not going to hyper-technicalize it, so let's just say we're doing that and hope we're doing that. So right foot forward, step in, raise up, turn and drop, turn back and hit. Raise up, step back and hit. Again, step in, raise up, drop, turn back, hit, raise up, step back, hit. One more time with the breakdown. Step in, raise up, drop, turn back, hit, raise up, step back, hit. Okay, so let's just do 10 like that. Ready, hitch, knee, sun, she, go, rook, sich, hutch, go, Jew. Number 3, we step to the side and drop block, like so. Then we bring it up, and then we cut to the elbow. Again, in order to cut, so I like to call this a J cut, because in my mind it's making the shape of a J. It's got a vertical back, and then it curves. It doesn't actually curve back up, so I guess it's like an L in some fonts with a curved back. So it's going from straight to curved to horizontal. And in order to achieve that, we're doing the same drop that we normally do, and then at the last minute we're going to drop in on that front knee, and this time push with the right hand. So you can pull back a little bit with the left, but really push with the right, and that will help push that elbow in and turn the corner for you. Because what you don't want to be doing is this, dipping your shoulder in and getting your shoulders away from your hips. So you're going to use that push. Push. See the way I can keep my elbows against my body as I do this? So as I bring it down, I can droop, up, down, all without moving my shoulders at all. And that way I keep my shoulders in connection with my hips. Now obviously my elbows will be up here for the cut. They drop down, hit my body, and cut across. Pretty much like when you do an uppercut, you don't want to be doing an uppercut like this. You want to be keeping it connected to your body and driving it with your body. Okay, so 3, broken down. Step to the right, drop, get the block. You can actually wait for their blade to slide down yours, bring it up, cut, up, and back to position. Step to the right, block, bring it up, cut, back up, cut and back. Step to the right, drop, up, cut, back up, back. Step to the right, up, cut, up, step back. Step to the right, up, cut, back up, back to position. And so let's go through and do that 10 times. Ready, itch, back, knee, back, san, back, shi, back, go, back, rook, back, sich, back, hatch, back, ku, back, ju, and back. And I'm going to hold off on seeing that till we do 4 as well. We're going to do them together. So 4, we step to the left. So this time left foot forward, we block, raise, cut to the opposite elbow, back up, step back. Step out, block, up, cut, raise up, step back. Step out, raise up, cut, up, back. Step out, block, raise up, cut, up, step back. Step out, block, raise up, cut, up, step back. One more time. Step out, block, up, cut, up, back. Okay, so let's do 10 of those. Ready, itch, and back, knee, and back, san, and back, shi, back, go, back, rook, and back, sich, and back, hatch, and back, ku, and back, ju, and back. So if it's not clear, it'll depend on uke, if you have to come in at all. So in our traditional taisabaki, we move 3 and 4 to the side. In this case, we're starting with our right hominy, so moving to the side for 3 is perfectly easy, but for 4, we kind of have to step in. So if you step in or step out more, will depend on the length of their blade, the distance they're traveling, the distance you need to travel, stuff like that. So for boken, we tend to come in a little bit, as opposed to exactly horizontal. The idea of this blade is that it's going to deflect away from the body, right? So instead of being just vertical, so the other blade will come in and just miss it, it wants to be slightly out, so it'll come down and slide down and move away from the body. So you need the bottom of it to be further away from your body than more to your left. The bottom of it to your left. No, I guess that I'm wrong. That way, whatever that way is. Is that your left? Yes. So not quite that much, but yes. So it wants to be slightly off vertical in both the front to back dimension and the side to side dimension. So at the diagonal coming out from your shoulder and your hip. Yes. So that's... So basically you just don't want to get into the habit of letting it swing over here and suddenly all of your body's exposed. You want to keep it out here where your body's behind it. And let me see it again. 5 and 6. 5, we come in the center, but our foot goes slightly out to the side, and then our back foot comes cross-stepping in, and we drop and turn. So just like in the Atemi version, we come in and we use our back foot to turn us. So we want to be coming more straight at first, and then turn, then we drop, and then we, just like in the Atemi, we drive the punch up. In this case, we're dropping and we're parrying the sword down, never past horizontal, because if it goes past horizontal, they can slip up towards us. So we want to make sure that it's always getting more and more braking and more resistance the further down towards us it comes. We drop onto their sword, and then we allow them to push our sword back up towards them, and we can lunge in. So we're coming up and in and forward, not reaching, just elbows away from our body, from chest out. So like so. And again, this will depend on uke, how far away their throat is. I find with my long arms, and of course your bokken technically should be measured to your arm length, so I use a 27-inch katana. You would probably need one, depending on your size, maybe a 24-inch, 25-inch, depending on how long your arms are. Which for me means, often I do this technique, I just drop and I can get them right there. Because most people are shorter than me. But you have to be able to come in. So we're going to practice it with the come in, and assume we're going to come in, and then don't use it if you don't need it. Okay, so right foot forward, slide forward slightly off angle while reaching. Again, when I say reach, I mean that your elbows come out from your body, but you're not actually letting your shoulders get forward. So just let your elbows come out. Slide in, slightly off, reach forward. Now bring your back foot across, turning you and turning your sword over onto its side and dropping. Then redirect back towards them and lunge forward. And we cut on the way back, of course, too. So coming in, forward, cross step, turn, drop, turn your blade over, redirect, lunge forward and up, and cut on the way back. Come in almost straight, cross step, turn, drop, redirect, lunge forward, up and back. Slide in almost straight, reaching, cross step, turn, drop, redirect, lunge forward, up, chop and back. Okay, so we're going to do 10 of those. Ready, hitch, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hatch, ku, shu, and back. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing for 6, except for we're stepping in. So same kind of thing, we step in to the offline, but we're still kind of reaching almost straight down the center line, staying on target basically. What we're doing with that reaching is we're receiving their attack, right? So we're not just taking their sword as it comes in and slapping it from on top like this and just holding it. What we're doing is we're meeting it up here as it slides down and redirecting it. So it's trying to come straight down the center, and we're pushing it off center and down and holding it down. and then when they try to raise it up, we redirect and come in with our throat attack. So at 6, right foot forward, we step in reaching, back foot cross steps, turn as we turn our blade over, and we drop, we redirect, lunge forward, up and back. Again, step in reaching straight, cross step, turn, drop, turn over your blade, redirect, step in, or lunge in, and back. Step in, reaching, cross step, turn, drop, redirect, lunge, up, back. Step in, reach, cross step, turn, drop, redirect, lunge, and back. Step in, reach, cross step, drop, redirect, lunge, up, back. One more like that. Step in, reach, cross step, drop, redirect, lunge, and back. Okay, 10 at speed. Ready? Hitch. Knee. And back. Sun. Back. She. And back. Go. Back. Rook. And back. Siege. And back. Hatch. And back. Q. And back. Chew. And back. Okay, so I'm going to have you show me 5 and 6. Just a quick note, when we are crossing the blade and holding it down, we don't want to be 90 degrees to it, right? What we want to be is more a little bit like this. And again, depending on their strength, the advantage is the further out towards the end, the longer their lever, the easier it is for you to hold it down, but also the easier it is for them to escape. The closer to the wrist you get, the easier it is for them to come underneath you, and the more weight you have to put on it to hold it down, but it's a lot safer. So you want to be up towards their hand, but not all the way where you lose any lever advantage. So maybe about a third way down, and not 90 degrees, but at maybe like a 45 or 60, somewhere between 40 and 60 degrees. Again, it'll depend on their strength, the length of their weapon, the distance you get in. You don't want to be reaching, you want to be in front of you and body dropping to apply it. And remember, your body dropping at this angle. Don't let it slide up towards you. You want them to try and escape so you can use that push off to get your lunge in. Alright, so let me see 5 and 6. The first part is really nice, the way you're coming in down the center line. I'm really liking that. But it does have to be a kind of a fluid motion. You can't kind of stay up there and out, because that's when they will change their strike, right? So you want to be just basically touching it and allowing it to come towards you, and then pushing it away at the last minute. So again, it's one of those things that I'm saying, like, oh, wait until the very, very last moment. And when you practice these things, that moment can stretch out longer and longer, so you can actually, you can feel it coming on you, and as soon as the weight comes on, that's when you can push them aside. So 7 without the blade is stepping back as far as you can step. So you want to really withdraw, because you want them to chase. Now again, how big you can step back is partly depending on how long your legs are and stuff like that. But if you're in Hominy, you're actually coming and you're going to be pushing off your left foot to get an even bigger step back. What you don't want to do is just leave your left foot where it was. So you need to get there and push off with your left foot so you get extra distance. With your blade, you're going to drop it and hide it. Like so. Now what that is it's hard to see against here. Let me try and catch the light with it. It's coming back to here. So it's pointing towards what would be like a corner. So if I'm on the mat here and I'm 90 degrees to the mat, it's going to be pointing right at that corner. And what that means is that it's pretty much invisible to the attacker. They can see it probably, but again it's sort of like looking at it and foreshortening. They're not really able to see its angle and condition. And it's not over here where they can see it coming out from the other side of your body, which is the most common mistake people make. And they're like, oh yes, it's I'm just hiding it behind my hip, and it's like way over here. So it's something it's handy to have a camera to see where it's going and see that you're just doing that. So you're kind of hiding it behind your leg the way we hide the stick. And then we're going to do a foot exchange and bring it out. So that's the most difficult part of 7 is getting into position and then doing the foot exchange. So notice that my right foot is where my left foot was in terms of how far forward and back they are. They're not stepping in, stepping back or anything like that. So I'm maintaining my position. So the idea is I'm drawing them in. They're coming all this distance to me, and now all I have to do is block the attack as it arrives. So my landing and my block have to happen at the same time. So I'm blocking with the top of my boken. So I'm not hitting it side to side. So I'm hitting the side of there because there is coming down in the Shomanuchi, and I'm hitting it with the back of mine, which means that I'm hitting it with a narrower point and a much more rigid point. You can break somebody's sword in half with this block. Right, so the whole idea is that they're coming down and they're going to get thrown over there, and if they're really far, they're going to get thrown over there because they're going to continue down. Or their blade is just going to break and they're going to end up down here with this stump of their blade. So let's just practice that a little bit. Ready, step back and hide, block, and then lunge in, just like with 5 and 6, up and back. Back, or back to start position, step back, foot exchange block, and you could come in, cut, and cut back too. So in the kata, we do it with a lunge. Ready, step back, foot exchange, lunge, cut, back. Step back, foot exchange, come in, come back. Now with the count, ready, hitch, and back. Knee, and back. Sun, and back. She, and back. Go, and back. Rook, and back. Siege, and back. Hatch, and back. Coup, and back. And you, and back. 8, we've been practicing with our sticks to come onto our arms, and that actually comes when I designed that it comes from my own habit of doing this in Boken kata. So again, my right hand is almost not holding, or sorry, this is my left hand at this point, because I'm like this. So my left hand has to release and my right hand is holding. And the reason I do this is because when we come into step back to 8, we also don't want it over rotating. And there's a tendency for people to do this, where they literally have it all the way behind them. So I use my elbow as a brake. So if it drops below my elbow, it can go anywhere. But if it actually dead stops against my elbow, now I can do too much twist, but I can't do too much tipping. So that's become the norm. So I step like this, I slide back and bring the blade to there. Now we're doing a little bit like number 2 in that we're making our body nice and flat, so that now we can come from right where we are. We don't have to do a foot exchange because we've slid back and the right foot is still forward. So starting from our start position, slide back, fold it into position, and slightly turn your hip. And now as the blade comes in, so remember this is the second strike. They come 1 strike, that's your step back, then they come 2. So they're coming 2, and we're going to turn our blade over. So we're actually turning our elbow out and we're bringing it around like that. So we've got almost no grip on our left. We turn it over. Now we're pulling it with our right. Once we get it far enough that we can get our left fingers around it, now our left fingers can pull against our right. So our right is pulling clockwise, and our left would be pulling the opposite direction. So that way you can get a big snap onto that block. So, ready, step back and hide, turn the hip slightly, turn your Boken over, bring it out, block, slide in, up and back. Again, step back, hide, block, poke, and back. Up and down, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju. Right side, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju. Die. Ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju. Bring it in front, over the head, down again, down again, down to the right, left, right, left, one more time in front, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go rock sich hatch kuju, ich knee san she go sich hatch kuju. And yummy. So let me show you how to put your Boken away, and then I'll show you on the real thing. So if your Boken is like this, you're going to pretend you have a scabbard, so you're going to make this sort of little fish mouth like that. That's going to be the opening of your scabbard, which actually is that shape, right? It's like this. I don't know if you can see it. So we're going to make that shape, and the Boken, so when you're carrying your sword, and also you'll notice on my display here, they go bent up. You'll see a lot of people that use these decoratively, And they'll all have everything set up like this, all with their curve down, the belly down. And that's really bad, not even just for a sword, which can get metal fatigue from it, but also from your bokken, because your bokken can distort in shape. So when you carry your sword, it's always blade up, so curve is up. And when we take it out, we go like so, and we're going to pull it out like that, and either tip it over or pull it out like that. That's the method. So to put them away, what we do is we make that what they call the fish mouth and put it on our hip as though we had a scabbard, and then you put your blade on top like that. So that little knuckle hollow right there, you can put it in there, and what you're going to do is you're going to slide it along there, feeling it with the front of your index finger thumb, so you can feel when it gets past that point, and then tip it up, and notice it's not touching the web of my hand as I slide it in, because that's where the blade is, right? You don't want to be slicing out your finger and then you let it go. So it comes out the same way and then goes in on top like that. What you're going to do is you're going to lean on that front knee, slide it forward until you feel it past that point. Notice my grip here, I have to extend it quite far in order to get to that point. And then I'm going to tip it up, and I come back into Hominy and slide it in, making sure that the blade doesn't touch my hand. So the way that works with an actual sword, same thing. You have your hand on it in the same way. You bring the sword across in the same way. You feel it with those two fingers, and you bring it all the way out. And you should be able to, I'm not suggesting that you let it go like that, I'm just showing you that it can clearly fall in without touching your hand and slicing your hands to bits. So when we take them out, again, you're going to do the same thing. You come forward, you step forward. So you've got a really deep, it's almost like a Zenkutsu Dachi, but then you're going to go all the way onto that front knee. So you can turn your hip, you pull it out until it reaches the scabbard, or leaves the scabbard, and then you can turn it all the way over and bring it back and join it to the hand. I'm holding this, obviously this will be on your waist. The other way that you can do it is, as I said, you can tip forward, you can tip your scabbard sideways, and you can bring it out like that. So either way it's coming out as a cut, right? Comes out as like a showman, or comes out as a side cut. Even though it's one-handed, taking your sword out is very important, because you're usually taking it out for a reason, right? Alright, we've got 15 minutes left. Let me return these back to the frame. So yes, if you have a frame and you have a bokken, put it on the frame. Oops, out of order here. So that it looks right, and you don't look like you're just trying to decorate your home. See, everything here is blade up. Protect your weapon, and also make it show that you know what you're doing. Okay, so let's do a little bit of workout to finish up, get our heart rates up and pumping, make some room, ready for jackknife. And let me just tip my cameras back down again, now that we're done with that. Ready, Hajime, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, jo, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. A. Standing twists. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. And when you do this, make sure you turn and look that way too. There's a tendency of people to kind of do this. And notice that not only are my arms no longer in line with each other, but I'm not using my hips nearly as much. And when we do those techniques, that everybody says, oh, I don't know if I can twist that much. This is one way where you can extend that ability to twist. Our Kotegashi number 5, right, is now Sensei Kari's wonderful body twist drop technique. Okay, standing split, same twist, right? So look over your up shoulder and ready, fingers to toes. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ku, ju. You know me? Shake it loose. And come down into Shikadachi. Drop your butt low. Pushing it on your knees. Breathe. In through your nose, out to your mouth. Straighten your right leg. Dai. 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 Straighten both legs. Bring your feet in a little bit, whatever you can, and drop into squat. Again, if you can put your shoulders between your knees, great. And if you can, drop your right knee. Dai. Back up. Bring your butt up. Straighten your legs. Walk your feet in, heel to heel. Start straightening up your back. Lower spine first, middle spine, then your ribs. Slowly bring your shoulders up. And now start raising your hands, but leave your wrists loose. Bring your chin up. Arms up. Start bringing your hands up. Everything should be straight by the time they're over your body. Head back, reach back. Forward. Start dropping your chin, dropping your elbows. Straight down your body. Elbows touch your chest, come into the side and drop your arms. And shake it loose. So, I mean, you might wonder why I do some of these exercises You've often seen these exercises both in track and field, like those spins, and also yoga, what I just did. But they're really good for Boken. So remember Boken, raise your wrists, raise your forearms, raise your elbows, twist, drop your elbows. So they're the type of things that are very good for practice as well. So they're not just randomly chosen. Okay, so let's come into Eizan. And let me see if I got room for this. A bit further forward. Both hands on the mat. Make a V, like a snowplow. I'm going to start pushing forward. Keep your butt on your heels. Slowly. All the way down. Flat as you can get. Slowly up. Drop between your heels all the way back. Up. Twist right. Left. Change position. And interlock your fingers behind your head. Elbows in front. Touch the mat with your elbows. Ich. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hatch. Ku. Ju. Flare your elbows to the side, touch the mat to the side, to the right. Ch. Left. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sich. Hatch. Ku. Ju. And shake it loose. And I think we can call that good for today. Mock so. So yummy. How to get the Gazemista. And thank you once more for joining me today. Hope to see you next time.